Well, Bob, it's that time again. The finals of the Bob and Ray annual Grand National Spelling Bee contest. Do you happen to have the regional winners there?
Our three regional semi-finalists arrived in New York this past week, and I wonder if you would just step up to our microphone and identify yourself. You are?
I'm Helen Ross, Fredericksburg, Maryland.
And thank you, Miss Ross. You're the winner from the Middle Atlantic states, is that right?
That's right.
And Russell Flume, are you here?
Russell couldn't be here.
Well, Russell was the Southern states...
But he got sick.
Well, I know, but he was the champion speller down there. Well, who are you, sir?
I'm Benjamin Franklin. I'm from Altoona, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to substitute for him.
Well, who do you represent, the Southern states?
I'll represent the Southern states,
right.
if I may.
And our last contestant from the West Coast.
Paul G. Revere.
Paul G. Revere.
Elmont, Utah.
All right, sir. Now, you two gentlemen and the lady are the regional winners, and as you know, we're going to give you one round of words here in the first go-round in our national semifinals. If you answer correctly, in other words, if you spell your word correctly, you will hear... And, of course, if you answer wrong, it's... No, it's not that. That's it. Now, the words will be chosen out of this barrel, which has been turned over, so they're all mixed up. And I think we'll let our lady go first. Ms. Ross, will you pick your first word?
All right.
Hand it to me, please.
There you are.
Your word, Miss Ross, is Paleolithic.
Paleolithic.
Pertaining to an era in the development of this earth.
Capital P-A-L-E-O. Paleo. L-I-T-H. I-M.
Oh, I'm sorry. The last letter should have been C, Miss Ross. But better luck next time in the second round. Let's move along to Mr. Flume, or rather to Mr. Flume's proxy.
Franklin.
Mr. Benjamin Franklin, will you reach in and we'll have to move right along. Hand me the word, if you will, please.
Okay, there you are.
The word you have chosen from our barrel of words is interfenestration, the spacing of windows.
Interfenestration. I-N-T-E-R-F-E-N-E-S-T-R-A-T-I-O-B.
Oh, no. You missed by one letter, Mr. Franklin. It was N. The last letter N. I'm sorry.
Right.
You'll take your seat next to Miss Ross, and our final semi-finalist here,
Mr. Revere,
Mr.
Elmont,
Revere,
Utah.
Elmont, Utah. Will you hand me your word?
Certainly.
Your word is the interrogative who.
Well, wait a minute.
Wait, Miss
Well,
Ross.
what?
Give him a chance.
Well,
please.
I had a real tough
I'm
one.
sorry, but
So
it's...
did I.
These, you choose your own words, as you know.
Who? W-H-O.
Who is right.
Well,
And
what
so
kind
that
of a
makes Mr.
badger game
Paul
is
Revere,
this?
the winner of round one.
I get
here in our
Paleolithic, and
semifinals.
he gets interfenestration,
And we'll be
and
back
this
with
big
round
lunk
two
gets who?
in just a little while. And here we go with our second go-round, the deciding go-round in our Grand National semifinal spelling bee with our three regional champions, Miss Ross, Mr. Revere, and
Just
Mr.
because I get an
Franklin.
easy word doesn't mean it's phony.
Our contestants are still
Sound like
bickering
a sour grape
among
to me.
themselves
It's not
about
sour grape, but
the
when you get a
unfortunate
big, long word like I did and a little
fact
thing
that they
like
drew,
you got,
two
you
of them
ought to
drew
be
hard
ashamed of
words in the
yourself.
first round and one drew an easy word.
Oh.
Remember, for a right
Maybe this
spelling,
round
it's,
she'll be on
and
the
for
other
a wrong
Well, I
spelling,
don't care if it is on the other foot.
here we go with our
first.
second round, and our lady, Miss Betsy L. Ross, is first.
Right.
Will you reach into the barrel, which has been spun, to certainly mix up the words chosen scientifically, and hand it to
There
me?
you are.
This time, Miss Ross, and this is the deciding word for you, your word is propinquity, or a nearness.
Propinquity.
Propinquity.
Well, how come he got who and I get words
Let me
like
remind
that?
you, you picked the word yourself, ma'am. Let's play the game
Propinquity.
fairly. We're
I've
all
never
good
heard
sports.
it. What's it mean?
It means a nearness or a...
Propinquity. P-R-O-P-I-N. G.
No, it looks like a G sometimes when some people
H,
write.
sure.
Yeah, it's wrong, though, the way you spelled it. So I'm afraid you're out, Miss Ross, but our
Propinquity.
congratulations on putting up a good fight.
I
And
didn't
let's-
put up any good fight. I'm just trying to save my skin.
Let's move now to the regional champion from the South, being represented
Hi.
by proxy, Mr. Benjamin Franklin.
I go along with Miss Ross to a degree. It seems like she and I drew the long straws, more or less.
Well, you did get a
this other
difficult
fellow
word
here.
as opposed to an easy one for Mr. Revere in the first round.
I'll take
Let's
my
see if you do
chance.
any better this time, sir.
Oh, okay, sir.
You have chosen the word proximity.
Proximity.
Closeness.
Closeness.
Go right
That's a
ahead.
pretty difficult word, too.
Go ahead, Mr. Franklin.
Proximity. P-R-O-X-I-M-I-T.
No, you were going... No.
L.
No, you were going to spell it wrong, I could tell. P-R-O-X-I-M-I-T-Y would be your word, and that
What do you mean
leaves
you could
out.
tell he was going to spell it
And that
wrong?
means
You
if-
had the
that
buzzer
means if
going
our
before
West
he got
Coast-
out 2 letters. I
For our
don't
West
know
Coast
what's going
champion,
on
Mr.
here.
Paul G. Revere, can spell his word correctly. He
Couple of
remains...
sore losers there, Mr. Elliott.
That's right, they are, Mr. Revere.
Yeah.
You've chosen your word, and if you spell it correctly, that means you are the standard bearer, the champion in our
Right.
semifinals. We'll go on to our final round later to be held here in New York.
All right, sir.
Word you have chosen is far, the opposite of near or close.
Well, wait a minute.
Go ahead, Mr. Revere, if you
Are
will.
you related or what?
Please, Miss Ross,
Far.
let's be polite.
F-A-R.
That is right, and
Thank
I
you.
want to congratulate you, and I know Ray does too,
You bet I do.
on having been... well, tell us what you do, Mr.
Well, I
Revere.
I own a theater out there in Elmont.
That's right, and
and
one of the most popular ones in Elmont, I understand.
we're certainly looking forward to you two fellows when you come out there in
Well,
a
we
couple of
certainly
weeks.
appreciated the booking when we heard from you. Thanks for being on our semi-final spelling bee,
Isn't
and you'll go
this
along to the
terrible?
finals, and I would think your
Couple
luck
sore
will be
losers.
pretty good, Mr. Revere. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. It's
Anyway,
been wonderful being here with you.
Well,
And now then, gang, stand by, because we have with us today the last of the old-time Western marshals, Slim Slade. And he's here with a few facts that might surprise you. Hello, Slim.
All right, just keep your hands in sight, son.
Wait a minute, what's this all about? I'm not armed or anything.
Well, you gotta overlook me being suspicious. I'm still afraid of some young punk wanting to try me out.
You mean there are still some gunfighters around who'd like to see how fast you are on the draw?
That's about it. At my age, I gotta be careful. Need every advantage in a gunfight.
Well, Slim, I know at one time you were reputed to be the fastest draw in the West, right?
That's right, but it was a long time ago. Quick draw these days takes me about, 15 minutes.
15 minutes to draw?
Yeah, and about another 30, 40 seconds to pull the trigger.
Well, has anyone attempted to draw on you here in New York City?
Not yet. But you know who's getting out of prison today?
Who, Slim?
Kid Volby. I sent him up 50 years ago, and he vowed that when he got out, he was going to look me up.
Well, what time is his train due in, Slim?
Already in. Fact is, he might be on his way here now.
Well, did you tell him you were coming here, Slim?
Sure. Ain't no saddle tramp on earth can push Slim Slade around.
Well, I think I'll just get out of here.
Oh, stay where you are, son. This is my fight, and you ain't no way involved. But I'll need a witness to what's about to happen, so if you try to leave, I'll pistol whip you.
Well, I don't think you can lift that pistol, Slim.
Two
really.
hands I can. Now stay where you are. Now, just make out things as natural-like. Keep on asking me them questions.
Okay. Where did you do your marshaling, Slim, back in the old days?
Well, one place is like another. I used to arrest people wherever I went. Once I visited a prison and arrested one of the convicts there.
Well,
Oh, that might be Kid Volby.
Slade, you in there?
That's Kid Volby, all right. Now I gotta trick him. Play along with me, what I do. Hello out there. Bet you think I'm Slim Slade.
Well, if you ain't, who are you?
I'm Billy Sickey. But I happen to know where Slim Slade is at. Now, I don't like him any more than you do, so come on in and I'll tell you where you can find him.
Okay.
Incidentally, just for the fun of it, leave your gun outside. Now, come on in. Oh.
well, you didn't fool him one bit with that fake voice, Slim.
Well, looks like I'm headed for the place where they ain't no gullies or ditches. Place where the cactus is tipped with blunt material. Where horses are automatically broke in. A place where...
Slim, he only nicked you in the toe. You'll be fine.
Oh.
And thank you, old-time Marshal Slim Slade, for being with us today. Watch out for the young punks. So long. And now, Butter Pecan, the greatest name in ice cream, presents another episode of One Fella's Family. Today's episode is entitled Going Like 60 and is taken from book VI, chapter CLVIIX. It's shortly after 4 in the afternoon as we look in on the family. We find Father on the front porch, sitting there next to Mother, and Father speaks.
Beautiful day, family.
Certainly is.
Good day to just sit on the porch and rock.
Wonder where the family is. Jack and all the girls.
Well, Claudia's back east on vacation.
Yes.
Clifford is up north fishing.
Do you suppose it's too early to cut back the roses?
Well, in another week or so, Fanny.
Now, who in the world would be driving up this residential street like that?
It looked like Jack's car to me.
It was. Come to think of it, it was Jack's car.
I think he's gone around the block. Maybe he missed seeing the house.
Well, now, what in the world would he do that for? Why wouldn't he stop and come in and say hello to his folks?
Fanny.
Yeah. Have you called Doctor about those teeth of yours?
Haven't been having too much trouble with them lately.
Seem to slip just a little when you smile. Jack! Oh, Jack!
Oh, Jack. He didn't hear us, Fanny.
It is Jack.
Must be.
He looked anxious. Looked like he wanted to get someplace.
Well, he's getting there in a hurry, but all he's doing is going around and around the block.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we ought to call... Well, here he comes. Jack! Jack!
Oh, Jack.
Jack! Jack!
He's certainly going like 60.
You've been listening to One Fella's Family, brought to you by Butter Pecan, the greatest name in ice cream. Today's episode was entitled Going Like 60 and was taken from Book VI, Chapter CLVIIX. One Fella's Family is written and produced by T. Wilson Messy. This is a Messy production.
One of the big problems in education today is finding enough youngsters who are interested in technical fields, in science in general, and who will go after some of these more difficult courses. We study the problem a bit, and we've invited to our studio Mr. Harman, who is principal of a brand new technical high school. I believe it is the Equitable P. Harman Science and Tech
Well, that's
High
right,
School. Is
Mr.
that right?
Elliott. Being a man of scientific bent myself, I was made acutely aware of the problem, so I...
Do I refer to you as doctor, professor, or just Mr. Harman, or...
Well,
what is correct?
Mr. Harman would be all right.
You're not...
I don't want to appear too stuffy.
No, I know you have an impressive career as an inventor.
Well, as I was mentioning, I invented the plastic collar stay.
Yes.
Keeps your collar neat.
That's probably your chief claim to fame. I don't think one of us men gets dressed in the morning.
What, you don't have a difficult time finding them, eh?
Well, after you find them, after you look at them, without remembering the man who invented the plastic collar stay, Equitable P. Harman. It's nice to have you
Now,
here.
I have been campaigning for funds to establish my high school, and I finally have the building now. It's located just a block west from MIT.
Oh, fine.
It's called Equitable P. Harman Science Technical High School, and the freshmen report this coming Monday.
Wonderful. Getting a little bit late start, but I suppose you'll carry the classes
Well,
a little
it's going
bit
to be
later in the
a concentrated, speed-up class. Now, they'll report Monday, Mr. Elliott, and they'll have basic science fundamentals.
Uh-huh.
Tuesday, the Einstein theory of relativity.
Fine.
Wednesday, nuclear physics. Thursday, astrophysics. And Friday, several students will be shot into space and returned by evening.
More or less a demonstration
Right.
experiment.
Saturday will be football practice.
Sounds like rather a full schedule you have, and a very complete one, incidentally, too. And for any of the kids listening, of course, they can write to us. What do you think the biggest problem will be this term with your class?
I think the biggest problem this year will be against Lowell High School on Thanksgiving Day.
You look for them to win that game.
I do, yes.
Well, good luck with the Equitable P. Harman Science Tech High School. I hope
Thank you very much, and I want to thank you and your employers for making this radio time available to me.
Thank you, Mr. Harman. Friends, we've done it again, haven't we?
Yes.
The Bob and Ray Overstocked warehouse is bulging at the seams once more.
An inestimable damage to our financial resources, we have managed to purchase 1,217 sets of genuine brass door chimes.
We were able to wheel and deal them to conclude this transaction successfully, and it was in itself a coup, comparable to the purchase of old Manhattan Island from the Indians, we think.
So reluctant were the brass door chime people to let their merchandise go that as we were leaving with the genuine brass door chimes, we were roundly booed by the rank and file of the company.
To this day, we still receive threatening phone calls from the president of the company, who murmurs dark promises of revenge and suit.
Now, that's how excellent these genuine brass door chimes are, friends.
However, the new foreman of the door chime company turned out inexplicably to be tone deaf. Before this shortcoming was discovered, the aforementioned 1,217 sets of door chimes were produced.
So, the chimes are, in a mildly fashionable way, a bit off-key. And that's why we're offering them to you at a price so low, it can't even be mentioned on the air.
That's right. We're afraid of surging crowds and the attendant tramplings that go with them.
So, under separate cover, we intend to mail out the price to the anxious thousands of folk who will surely want some idea of what these genuine brass door chimes will cost.
But before you make up your mind, we want you to listen to a set of these genuine brass door chimes.
Think we ought to let them, Bob? We'll have to hire special police to beat off the crowds tearing here to the studio.
Yeah, well, I think we'll have to risk that, Ray.
All right.
Will you press the button that sets off the chimes, please?
Okay.
And there they are, friends.
Folks, apart from the obvious advantages of owning such a set of door chimes, we'd like to outline a few of what we call astral assets.
Which means benefits not readily discernible to the eye.
Just think, when the chimes are set off, no more birds.
Those pesky insects you have around the house will flow out in a never-ending stream.
Those cats who've been ravaging the garbage at night will sail out of earshot.
You'll be able to make new friends with these door chimes.
That's right. Once the distinctive and compelling sound of the chimes is heard, people by the hundreds will flock to your door to find out what's going on.
Or, for those of you of an introspective persuasion, the door chimes can be used to keep away those unwanted and unexpected Sunday afternoon visitors. All you have to do is turn the chimes on.
And for you fashion models out there who enjoy featuring the skinny, sick look,
Ring the chimes and you'll do what we just did.
turn pale.
They're really something you should all be with and shouldn't be without.
Now, that's right. We went to a peck of trouble getting these genuine brass door chimes.
So write to us, care of Brassy, New York City, for our under separate cover prices.
And write on your postcard, awesomely low-priced door chimes.
And we'll know what you mean.
Welcome to This Place for Heroes, dramatized events in the lives of ordinary citizens who never gave in, but waged a fight against unfairness, duplicity, and corruption. Today's dramatization concerns fearless small-town newspaper editor Fred John Wassell, whom we'll meet after our story.
Alice, how's this for an editorial? It's time Turnberg stood up to them. 3 years ago, Turnberg was a good town. Then they came. A trickle of evil men at first. We didn't know then what they were up to, but we soon found out.
Oh, Fred, those men will come around again if you print that.
Turnberg, with a population of 1,210 people, had 3 jukeboxes in it 4 years ago. Now we've got 1,700 jukeboxes in Turnberg, more than one to a person. Now,
I'll see who it is, Fred.
no, you better let me get that, Alice. Who is it?
Better open up, Wassel. It's me, Fist Faraday.
Alice, go home. You'll be safe there. Go through the back.
But what about you, Fred?
Do as I say, Alice. You think I'd like to go home, too? I'm no glory seeker. Just doing a nasty job. A job that has to be done. Now, please go.
All right, Fred.
See you later.
Open up, Wassel, or I'll just tear this joint apart.
Door's open, Faraday. Come on in.
Hello, small man. I understand you're writing another thing about me today.
Faraday, I'm going to tell you something. Your kind stinks. You know what you are? You're some kind of maniac from the Stone Age. You're from another world. You decided to make the trip here by sewer. Now you've arrived covered with a stench of corruption. Faraday, your world is fast disappearing. Your world of muscle weakens more each day, and I can help the atrophy along with words. That's right, Faraday. Let your epitaph read, he was stricken by a typewriter.
And that was the courageous stand taken by editor Fred John Wassel. And now I'm sure you all want to meet the real Mr. Wassel. Sir, I'd like you to say hello to the many fans you've made with your magnificent display of nerve.
Hello. I'm glad to be here.
I understand the wire was removed from your jaw yesterday, Mr. Wassel.
That's right, and I'm glad it was, too. Alice is teaching me to walk again. Now I can tell her to stop when I get tired.
But all this that's happened to you, Mr. Wassel, it really isn't important. The important thing is that what the jukebox situation is like back in Turnberg these days, right? That's what we'd like to hear about.
Well, I understand they put 7 jukeboxes in my newspaper office. I really don't see how I'll get around the office with all that crowding.
And your wife Alice tells me that you have to put in your own money, and whatever it is in the machine has to be turned over to Faraday.
That's the understanding, yes.
Fred John Wassel, there isn't much I can say. You've said it all for us in words and in deed. You're a hero, and this is the place for heroes. Here on This Place for Heroes.
And the question man is here with another stack of mail in which there are questions to which he will offer the answer, I hope. How do you feel today, Mr.
All right, let's get to the mail quickly.
All right, here's the first one from a man in Massapequa, Long Island. He says, my friend and I are having a fight. How can I win as he's much bigger than I am?
I'm afraid it was Bill Terry in 1933.
Here's another one from all the way down in New Bern, North Carolina, from a lady who writes, my friend and I are having a fight. Did the United States ever have a woman president?
No, I believe it was in the late 1800s at the Delaware Water Gap.
A young married couple, Mr. Question Man from Philadelphia, writes, we're having an argument. What kind of a guy was Francis Scott Key?
I'm afraid that your friend lost that argument. No, that's the Amazon River.
A pupil in junior high school 93 in Brooklyn, New York, writes, my teacher and I have a bet. Did Eli Whitney or Elvis Presley invent the cotton gin?
No, 3 cities. Paris, Rome, and London.
And a nice lady in Duluth, Minnesota writes, I like your voice, Mr. Question Man. Can I come up and meet you sometime?
Oh, I'm afraid you won that argument. You can tell your friend that it flows northeastward and empties into the Atlantic Ocean at Newburyport.
And there's a second part to this question, P.S., Mr. Question Man.
Ted Williams.
Finally, a Marine in Camp Lejeune writes to ask, what time of the year does the yellow-shafted flicker molt?
Cumulus clouds, always.
So we hope that the Question Man has answered some of the problems bothering you listeners. If you have any, send them along. Next time, he will answer such questions as, I know how tall Mount Everest is in feet, but how many inches high is it?
And hello again, ladies. It's time for one of Aunt Penny's true-to-life stories. And this is Danny sitting in Aunt Penny's sunlit kitchen. And what's that you just baked there, Aunt Penny? It looks delicious.
Raisin cookies, Danny, and they're just lovely.
Do you mind if I try one while I sit back to listen to today's story?
Well, you certainly can, and that's one thing about these cookies, ladies. As with anything made with chicken fat, it's completely digestible.
Oh, Aunt Penny is right, ladies. You know that whenever you use chicken fat and you're baking or deep frying, you're really deep frying and baking.
That's right, and it is so digestible. They don't sit in your stomach like a $half piece.
I'm going to have a couple more of these raisin cookies, Aunt Penny, while you tell us what today's story is all about.
Why don't you have some cookies, Danny, and I'll tell all the folks about today's story and what it's all about.
Is that sunlight filtering through the Venetian blind too strongly in your face, Aunt Penny?
No, but doesn't it show how spotless our kitchens are here,
Yes, and
Danny?
how light and golden brown those raisin cookies are, too.
Aren't they wonderful?
They are delicious. There's
Well,
not going to
Danny,
be
you
many of
can
them.
help yourself to these and eat as many as you want, because if it's in chicken fat, it's digestible.
Well, now, what's today's story about, Aunt Penny?
Today's story...
I'm just going to have one more cookie before
Why
you
don't
start.
you, Danny? Help yourself. That's what I say to all my friends. When you do cooking, if you cook with chicken fat, you'll find that it is digestible. And the things you cook with chicken fat won't sit in your stomach like a stopwatch.
That's right. Don't forget Aunt Penny's famous words, ladies. Help yourself. And now, Aunt Penny, today's story.
Today's story, Danny, is about two retired folks who live in a small town in New England. And the story concerns a Mr. and Mrs. Eugene Spatz.
And what happens to Mr. and Mrs. Spatz, Aunt Penny?
Well, Mr. Eugene Spatz, for many years, was a trusted employee of a bank in Boston. After he had accumulated enough money, he decided to retire in the northern part of New England.
In Metropole, Aunt Penny? In Metropole?
No, why don't you dry up now, Danny?
All right, Aunt Penny. Let's get to the story.
So they decided to retire, and they went to a small town in New Hampshire. Well, that was only the beginning of their troubles, because...
Well, here's a small town in New Hampshire, Miss Spatz.
Going to retire here?
Looks like as good a place as any.
Well, all right, let's pull up.
First, we'll have to go to a real estate office, I guess, and see what's available. Got all our life savings there in the glove compartment of the car.
That's right. So maybe one of us had best sit in the car.
Good idea, Miss Spatz.
I'll sit here and you go on in.
All right. Miss Spatz?
Yeah?
Go on in where? We're parked right out on the highway here. No buildings around. What do you think about that?
It confuses me to think.
Well, it kind of threw me a curve, too, Miss Spatz.
Gee, we were all set to retire so nicely, and...
Maybe better drive right on into Metropole and see what's available in the way of a
Wasn't
house.
that car going speedy?
Sure
That was going
was.
like 60, I declare.
At least that.
Yeah.
Well, come on, let's go.
Danny, I'll have to stop now.
Oh, you mean the story's over for
Yes,
the day,
this
Aunt Penny?
could very well turn into a half hour, and we don't have that much time.
Don't you ladies forget what Aunt Penny always says. Help yourself.
Help yourself.
Because if it's in chicken fat, it's saturated with fat.
Audience, can you guess that tune?
All right, if you can, stop that tune. We're here to play a big game with you today. We're going to play music, and if you know it, you'll push a buzzy.
Okay, here's our first contestant to run both lengths of the studio, up and then back. Are you ready, ma'am?
Yes,
Got
I'm
your
ready to go.
sneakers on there?
You betcha.
Okay,
All
sir.
righty.
When you hear the bell ring, go.
All right.
And here we go.
And I'm off.
Oh, there she is. She's off. Be careful now. Oh, what a wonderful lady guest. Ring the bell. Don't forget to ring. Now back. Hurry.
Ring the bell. There you are. All right, what was the name of that song?
What?
What was the name of the song?
I just
Well, that's
thought...
the whole object of the game, man. You don't just run back
But
and
I
forth.
thought if I ran up and
No,
back
no,
and,
no, you
and
don't.
hit the bell within a certain length of time.
No, you have to do that before.
Well, I couldn't listen to the music and run, too.
All right, do you want to try again, or are you pooped?
I'm awfully pooped, but
Well,
I'll try it again.
All right, here we go. When you hear the bell sound, start out and listen to the music this time. Here we go.
Okay, pay attention now. Don't forget the tune this time. That's the big thing. Now ring the bell and come back. Come on.
Okay. Well, now you look as if you know the answer.
T for two.
T for two is right, and you win the chance now to
Oh,
go
I'm sorry,
on
I'm
to our
sorry,
next
Clayton.
big money.
Clayton Budd, I'm
What?
sorry, but I think the song is wrong. We're checking with the judges now.
Well,
I
I'm
think we'll
sure
have to
that
give
was
her
T for two.
A baby orchid flown in from Hawaii for her.
Good luck.
No, they're telling me it wasn't Tippah. I'm sorry, ma'am. It was my mistake. I was sure it
Well,
was.
what do I get?
Baby orchid flown in from Hawaii.
A baby orchid flown in from Hawaii.
That's right.
After I run up and down the length of this stage
Yes.
and make a fool out of myself?
That's right. That's your prize, and thank you very much for being with us here today and trying to discover what the tune is.
My word. Where do I go now?
Right over there. And be sure you join us next week to play What the Tune Is on this program.